camping is such a big deal, right? It's in every first-person shooter, it's a pandemic, it's an issue. Call of Duty Ghosts is too campy, Battlefield's too campy, COD World War II's too campy. I want to play games that aren't campy. If you camp, you're a noob, and only noobs camp. But there's some problems with this mentality and these complaints about camping, because I think the developers took these complaints to heart a little too much. I think the reason we get all of these games that are pushing for simplistic map design, fast movement, even some games that just don't even have the option for you to lay down, I feel like those are because of all of the complaints that, oh, these games are too campy. Battlefield 1 and Hardline are much more fast-paced than Battlefield 3 and 4. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, and Infinite Warfare are much more fast-paced than Call of Duty Ghosts and Black Ops 2, even though those are both pretty fast-paced games. And then we have games like Titanfall 1 and 2, Overwatch, Doom 2016, and Lawbreakers, a game that was all about speed and being faster, and yeah, look how fast it is, nobody can camp in this game. So these complaints about camping actually have a little bit of weight on the industry in my opinion. I don't feel like these voices go unheard, and maybe they shouldn't. I don't think games should have to be campy, but I kind of got a little bit frustrated with a lot of games seeming to just force engagement so that nobody's camping, everybody's in close to mid-range combat with fast time to kill weapons or slow time to kill weapons, doesn't matter. But there's no real place for you to set up. There's no place for you to wait. There's no long sight lines. There's no long range things anymore. There's less cover, you know, it's just, you should keep moving, you know, be aggressive. And I know a lot of you are thinking about Battlefield, and for the purpose of this video, we're keeping milsims out of this conversation. But since Battlefield isn't a milsim, I'm going to talk about that later, and that's a big part of this rant, so I hope you guys stay till that. But camping is a big enough deal that I think a lot of developers take complaints about it to heart. And they change the way maps are made, movement is used, they change all of that. And that's why it was really refreshing to me with Call of Duty World War II, that these maps aren't really that fast-paced. There are faster-paced ones, and there are not as fast-paced ones, and I like that. Because I like fast-paced combat, I like run-and-gun combat, but I also don't want it every match, every game, for a year. Just so you guys are aware of my position, I don't think all maps should be big and campy, or small and fast-paced. I think every shooter would be made better if there was a wide variety of map types. The more repetitive the maps are laid out, the more repetitive the gameplay plays out, and that becomes a boring game. So if camping is a big enough deal that I think developers actually think about that when they're designing maps and games, I think we should be able to define what camping the fuck is, because I don't hear anybody being specific when talking about camping. I hear like 5 different explanations as to what camping is from like 5 different people. Camping is when someone sits in a corner and watches a doorway. Camping is when somebody sits in a window and head glitches. Camping is when somebody stays in their spawn. Camping is when somebody's up on a hill. Camping is when someone is sniping. Camping is when someone's waiting. Camping is when someone's laying down. Camping is when someone's crouching. Camping is when you're staying in your vehicle. Camping is when you found a good position with a tank in Battlefield and you're raining down shells on enemies. You're still camping. Some people find it strategic, some people find it annoying, some people find it to be a problem with the game, and an actual, you know, like big issue, like a systemic issue with the game is that it's too campy and the players keep waiting and camping. First of all, campers are some of the easiest people to kill in shooter history. Out of all the types of players you can fight, a camper that refuses to budge is one of the easiest, even though, because of their positioning, they might get 1 or 2 kills on you before you can take them out properly. And yes, that is frustrating, but they are really easy to take out once you know where they are. Whether they shoot and they miss or they shoot and they kill, you should figure out where they are. But besides that, it's interesting to me that certain terms in gaming have such like weight to them. Like you say it and people just know what it means, but not camping. Camping is something I've heard described and justified 100 different ways. You'll hear a lot of Call of Duty players say words like, and I think Battlefield players as well, whatever, first-person shooter players, sorry, I'm thinking about COD, I'm enjoying World War II. But FPS players, they'll use words like playing more conservative, or the really cool players that say they're playing stealthy or sneaky. But I assure you, they will both be called campers no matter what. If they are not rushing, if they are not running into bullets, if they are not jump shotting, drop shotting, sprinting around corners, If they are not being as aggressive as humanly possible, they are camping. If they are guarding their objective, they're camping, and it's not good. It has to stop. But again, no one can explain it to me, so that's kind of this part of this rant kind of wrapped up here, is that nobody can explain to me what camping is. I know, some smart guy out there is gonna be like, well, boom, camping is this. Okay, what I'm saying is that there's tons of people that say camping is blank, but then someone else says camping is not blank, camping is blank, camping is not waiting, camping is being slow, camping is not being slow, camping is not moving, camping is not moving, camping is staying in one little area. I have been called a camper for using cover when I knew an enemy was about to approach me from the front. And as a half-decent FPS player, I'm offended to be called a camper when I just know the basic rule is you should always try to keep some object between you and your opponent, giving them one little bit less of a target to shoot. So whatever, no one can define it. And this is going to go into the more Battlefield area, and watch this humorous gameplay where I just lay on this hill and just snipe at people. I was just kind of mocking the playstyle, and then I recorded it and I'm like, I'll use this for something, and I finally have a something. When it comes to Battlefield, you up on a hill with a bipoded bolt-action sniper rifle, waiting for the perfect headshot, the long shot, the counter snipe, whatever it might be, you are not helpful. Battlefield players, Battlefield snipers, you are not helpful. I know what you're about to say. Oh, well, we spot people. Fuck yeah, you do. Fuck yeah, you do. You spot so many people. You know what's useful? Somebody up on a skyscraper or on a hill or somewhere else spotting people versus being down there fighting people. Okay, so what's better? Your teammate on the objective with you with a versatile weapon like a DMR or a carbine, or your teammate watching you on the objective from a good 1.5 miles away with a bolt action? What's more useful? Of course, the spotting is so important. If only Battlefield gave the recon class motion detectors or things that can spot people automatically. Oh shit, they did. You have the MAV, which you do have to control. You might have to camp somewhere and then control that MAV, but what about the tugs? The tugs is a motion sensor. Anyone getting near it, they're tagged. They're tagged on the map if they get near that motion sensor. What about the sensor ball? You throw that and it'll look for enemies, and again, they'll tag them on the map. Okay, well, what if the enemies are far away? Who's going to spot the snipers? Well, tell you what, you're not going to need to spot the snipers, because as soon as they fire and kill somebody, somebody's going to know where they are, and that person can go after them. Okay? Whether they hit the person or kill the person, they're not going to win the game by getting a couple of lucky headshots across the map on Siege of Shanghai or Golmud Railway. They're not going to win the game. It's not like people won't know where they are the moment they fire. Snipers, skilled snipers, can be a frustration to the enemy team. It's a fun playstyle that I even indulge sometimes. Not recently, I haven't been very good recently. But it's almost like a guilty pleasure, and it's guilty because I don't feel like I'm helping. I feel like I'd be more useful with a DMR, like pushing objectives and, keeping some range, but pushing objectives and throwing down spawn beacons and throwing down tugs and stuff like that, than trying to fulfill some sort of cringy real-life sniper fantasy. And yeah, it's fucking cringy if you think you're realistically sniping because you're up on a hill with a bipod and you haven't moved in 12 weeks and there's moss growing on the back of your boots. You can be a frustration if you're really skilled, but you're not going to win your team the game. If you had a 10-round sniper rifle and you landed every shot, you have killed 10 opponents. That's great, but you're not on the objective. You're not helping. You're not any more helpful, okay? There is no way you can convince me that someone on a hill sitting down and, in my opinion, being a useless camper, just spotting people, you cannot convince me that that is better than you being on the fucking objective, than you being with your buddies, spotting people in the immediate vicinity, and with the tug system, it spots people through walls. You are more useful going up to a building and placing down that tugs than you are up on a hill watching through the window, seeing if you can see somebody. Yes, it's fun and you should play how you want, but it's not realistic, it's not cute, it's not tactical, it's not skill-based. And what's annoying to me about the word camping is that the people that don these playstyles in any game think that they're fucking super cool. They're the tactical guys. No, you're the frustrating camper. See, in Call of Duty, if I was to sit in a corner and wait for people to approach me in a bedroom and I just kept mowing them down as they came up the stairs, that is more useful than you in Battlefield sitting on your ass, scoping over the whole map, sending rounds at everybody that holds still for a second. So let me define for you guys what camping is in any shooter. There's multiple different kinds. You have conservative playstyles where you use cover, maybe you use suppressors, you try to stay off the radar, you don't want to be the head of attention, you want to keep some distance, you want to be unseen, and you want to keep range. There's objective campers that maybe don't do that much, but the moment you get near a domination flag in Call of Duty, the MCOM in Battlefield, whatever it might be, that person's there waiting for you. They have trip mines, they have sensors, they're waiting for you to touch the objective so they can kill you. Now you could break into a lot of different ways that someone could camp, and I don't want this video to be 15 minutes, so I'll just go to the type of camping that I find frustrating, and that is useless camping. The camper with almost no kills. The camper that's spotting people on the objective versus actually getting on the objective and killing them. That's a useless camper. And for your clarifications, for you meatheads out there, somebody that runs up to a wall and uses cover to kill you is not a head glitcher or a camper. Somebody that waits for you and kills you multiple times is better than you, because they're using your aggression, your frustration against you. Now, I'm not saying campers can't be frustrating or aggressive players can't be frustrating. I'm not saying camping is fine. I'm saying no one can define what camping is. There's this weird double standard if you have a bolt action rifle and you're not really camping anymore. I'm actually being helpful because I can spot people. And the fact that people don't realize that camping is an actually really good strategy. This is not justification. I'm not trying to prove that, hey guys, when I camp, I'm not a noob. That's not what this is. If you don't realize that camping is a viable, useful tool to derail aggressive enemies or to protect objectives, or in games like Call of Duty to stay alive so you can get a kill streak that will help your team win. If you don't realize that, you're not in the right and campers aren't in the wrong. Campers aren't the issue, their stubbornness is the issue. Run a class that has gas grenades in World War II if you don't like campers. No one wants to camp in a room with toxic gas. Throw smoke if you're being pinned down by a sniper. If you're being pinned down by a sniper in Battlefield, a bipod LMG or DMR is way better than a sniper because you can surround them in so much rapid, accurate fire that they will either back the fuck off and not be able to peek, or you'll just kill them and frustrate the hell out of them. When you charge a camper and that is so cool to you that you're so aggressive and they're so campy, you're playing to their strengths. You're giving them the upper hand. And I don't know why a good, skilled, aggressive player would do that. So, really in conclusion, it's just funny when you have all these really talented, aggressive players that don't have the critical thought or the learning capacity or spatial reasoning to deal with somebody that isn't moving. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this rant. I've just been thinking about this for a while and I wanted to let it out. And I'm going to be back to uploading regularly again because my girlfriend has gone back to her hometown for the holidays to be with her family and stuff. And so I have a lot more time to record, and videos will be back to their regular schedule. Monday through Saturday, uploaded at weird times in the very early morning, so it's there when you wake up, or when you're about to go to bed, depending on where you are in the world. And yeah, I'll just try to get back into recording. This commentary was a little bit rough, but I decided to go back in with a rant. And I could have done a simple video, but I decided to go with a rant, and maybe that was a bad idea. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Leave me some hate or frustration if you want to. I know camping is such a touchy subject for a lot of normie gamers. Anyway, I'll see you when I see ya. Goodbye. Yes, I said normie gamers, and no, I did not mean it ironically. If the biggest problem in a game to you is people that won't move, then you need to go play fucking little baby games, because you're a little baby. Good one, Ian. Well, let's leave it there on that one. That's good. Let's not even cut that out.